At the beginning of the story, we see a boy named Bisak who is new to the class. The teacher introduces him and says that Bisak is an excellent boxer. From that day on, he will be the new head of the boxing class. All the students applaud, but Vasil, the smartest boy in the class, is unhappy. He used to study with Bisak at a technical school where Bisak used to bully him. As soon as the teacher leaves, Bisak shows his true nature. He beats up the biggest bully in the class and establishes his dominance in a single day. Then he grabs Vasil by the neck. A girl tries to stop him, but Bisak slaps her and pushes her away. Looking at her, he says, "Is she your girlfriend that you care so much about her? Too bad. I hate girls too." Terrified, Vasil grabs Bisak's hand and begs him to stop. This only makes Bisak angrier. He shouts, "Did you forget your middle school lessons?" and begins beating Vasil badly. Vasil wants to retaliate. His eyes fall on a pen. With trembling hands, he picks up the pen. Bisak comes closer and says, "You're just a coward. If you were a real man, you'd have attacked me by now." In panic, Vasil stabs the pen into his eye. Bisak screams in pain. All the students in the class are stunned. Vasil himself is shaken and terrified. After this incident, Vasil is brought to court. The court rules that Vasil intentionally used a weapon and that Bisak lost an eye. It is not regarded as self-defense, and Vasil is sentenced to 2 years in juvenile jail. His mother keeps crying. Vasil is being transported by bus along with the other inmates. On the same bus sits a dangerous prisoner named Yong, whom no one dares to sit near. He is a skilled MMA fighter. A boy takes Vasil's seat, forcing him to sit next to that dangerous prisoner. After reaching the jail, the guards confiscate everyone's belongings. The same prisoner, Han, asks Vasil what case he is in for. Vasil quietly says, "Attempted murder." Everyone falls silent at this. Han immediately apologizes and lies that his case is the same. Han and Vasil are placed in the maintenance team. Every criminal in this prison has their own crew. When Han introduces himself to the other inmates, he later admits that actually he's in for petty theft. Then a senior inmate, Yong, begins to explain the jail rules to the 2 new boys. He says rank is decided by fighting here. If you can't fight, disappear, otherwise you will be wiped out. At this time, the prison is split into 3 groups. First is Sung Hep, a world judo champion whose skills are unmatched. Second is Won, who turns into a savage when angry. Third is Sung Yong, who looks small but can tear anyone apart. To gain power and control, Jun and Sung Yong cook up a scheme. They stage a fake fight and accuse Sung Hep of attacking and stealing smoking items. As a result, Sung Hep is sent to solitary confinement, and the prison's power is now in 2 groups' hands. But the real truth is different. The real owner of the prison is someone these 3 cannot defeat together. His name is Jing. So far, Vasil knows nothing about Jing. Han tells him that the man Vasil sat next to on the bus is Jing. Jing had won the lightweight championship 3 times in a row and was the first person to become world champion at just 18 years old. But when he went to celebrate that victory with his mother and sister, he found silence. His sister was lying on the floor. Her throat had been cut. Nearby was his mother's corpse. Seeing this, Jing was shocked. Suddenly, a masked thief from behind put a rope around his neck. They didn't know they were messing with the wrong man. Jing picked the thief up, slammed him onto a table, and mercilessly killed the other 2 thieves as well. But the court considered it excessive self-defense, and Jing was sent to prison. Won and Yong needed 1 member each for their crews. One took Han, and Yong took Vasil. In a game, one was about to score, but Yong stopped him and told Vasil to kick the ball. Afraid, Vasil accidentally kicked the ball straight into one's groin. One fell down in pain and, furious, grabbed Vasil and tried to take him away. Vasil remembered his days at technical school when Bisak and his friends used to take him to the storeroom to beat him. He realized one was about to kill him too. At that moment, Jang passed by, and Vasil immediately ran to him and asked for help. He said, "Why don't we keep to our own business? I need to talk to him about something. Don't get involved." Seeing Vasil, Jang did not think he wanted to talk and started to take Vasil with him. Vasil got angry and attacked Jang. In response, Jang slapped him once. Vasil staggered and charged again, but Jang knocked him out with a single punch. Later, Vasil sits with the other inmates to study. Then an unwelcome guest, Bisak, comes to see him. His right eye is gone. His boxing career is over. He angrily says, "I'll wait for the day you get out. When you're out, your real hell will begin." Hearing this, Vasil's heart trembles. He cries and begs for mercy, but Bisak doesn't forgive him and leaves angrily. Afraid, Vasil returns to class. When he looks out the window, he sees Jang running on the ground. Vasil goes to him and thanks him for the help. Jang replies, "Don't worry. For a while, you're safe." Vasil tries to talk to him with a milk carton, but Jang ignores him. Still, Vasil starts bringing a milk carton every day and comes to the ground. Eventually, Jang gets fed up and tells him, "Don't put the milk carton here again." Vasil begins to follow him. Jang asks, "What do you want? Are those guys bothering you again?" Vasil says, "No, I want to become like you. I want to learn from you. I want to be strong." Jang asks, "Why? What will you do with strength? Kill people or bully the weak like those fools?" Vasil replies, "No, I have no bad intentions. People beat me and bully me a lot. I'm tired. I don't want to run anymore. I just want to live a normal life." Hearing this, Jang stops. He says, "All right, I'm willing to teach you. I take 30 minutes to run 100 laps on this ground. If you can do 100 laps in 40 minutes, I'll train you." Without thinking, Vasil starts running with Jang. But after a few rounds, he becomes badly exhausted and Jang runs many laps ahead of him. Still, Vasil doesn't give up. Memories of the technical school, when Baisak and his friends beat him mercilessly, push him on. By the 50th lap, he's completely exhausted and falls to the ground. Jang himself says stopping is not shameful. But remembering his weak, frightened old self, Vasil gets up again. Like a wounded lion roaring one last time. He screams and gives it his all until he faints. He didn't complete the test, but seeing his spirit, Jang takes him as his disciple. Jang has good connections with the jailer, so Vasil is shifted to Jang's cell. Jang wastes no time and starts his training. He asks him to do push-ups, but Vasil does them awkwardly. From Vasil's condition, it's clear how difficult it will be to train him. Jang says, "I'll push your limits. It's nothing special, just increase your exercises every day." After that, Vasil devotes himself to practice. After a few days of extreme training, he becomes faster, stronger, and more confident than before. Meanwhile, Baisak is walking down the middle of a street. Two men curse at him and tell him to move aside. Baisak quietly steps away, but later breaks their car's side mirror. Angry, the two men run to attack him, but Baisak beats them severely. Their boss is a gangster who, seeing Baisak's fighting, is pleased and asks, "Are you a boxer? If you work for me, it'll be profitable." He hands Baisak his card. Baisak refuses and gives him the middle finger. The gangster smiles and says, "I know one of your eyes is bad. Maybe I should strike your other cheek. Survive my slap and you can go." Angered, Baisak attacks him, but the gangster slaps Baisak hard and knocks him to the ground. He says, "If you learn from me, you'll get even better." Driven by the desire to be more powerful, Baisak agrees. Sometime later, Baisak arrives at the gangster's office. The guards try to stop him, but Baisak single-handedly thrashes everyone. Even the senior guard doesn't survive. The gangster is delighted. Back at the prison, Han says to Vasil, "Okay, you trained and got stronger, but I don't think you'll be able to face one. Soon Jang will be shifted to the adult prison. Then who will protect you from one?" Hearing this, Vasil is surprised. He didn't know Jang was going to be transferred. He immediately approaches him and asks, "Are you really leaving for the adult prison?" Jang says, "You know I can't always stay with you and protect you. Now you have to focus on your training." Meanwhile, Han watches Vasil's training, but some of one's team members grab him and beat him because he failed to bring Vasil to one. Vasil arrives from there, attacks one student, and rescues Han. Both students run to one and tell him everything. He angrily says, "I don't know anything. You must bring that fool to me by any means, or I won't spare you." The two boys try to persuade Vasil. John was about to chase them away, but Vasil stops him and decides to go with them. Vasil stands in front of one. One bursts into anger and attacks him. Vasil dodges and slaps one forcefully, knocking him to the ground. All the inmates are stunned. One becomes furious and brutally beats Vasil. Vasil fights back, landing some blows, but one beats him so hard that he falls. One thinks Vasil is finished, but Vasil staggers up again. Seeing this, everyone is amazed. He grabs one by the collar and repeatedly bangs his head against one's face. One becomes dizzy and falls. Vasil sits on him and keeps punching his face. At that moment, Jing arrives, stops Vasil, and takes him away. The next day, both return to training, but Vasil's mind is elsewhere. Jing snaps him with a punch and tells him to focus. This time, Vasil gets angry. He dodges Jing's strikes and brings his fist right up to Jing's face. Jing is shocked and smiles, saying, "You've become much better, but you need to train with more focus. You mustn't weaken now. You seem sad. Today's training is over. I have to go." Vasil thinks Jing is leaving because of his sadness. He says, "You're mistaken. I'm not sad." Jing replies, "I'm being shifted to the adult prison, so I must go." Vasil breaks down hearing this. Before leaving, Jing encourages him, "You did better than I expected. This training is tough even for an athlete, but you endured everything. Do you know sharks don't have swim bladders? If they stop moving, they drown in the depths. That's why they must always move forward. You are like a shark. If you stop training, you'll go weak again. So whatever happens, don't stop training. Saying this, Jing picks up his things and leaves. Vasil feels terrible about the separation and cries, but Jing's words stay with him and he immediately resumes training. After Jing leaves, Vasil is again posted to one's team. Yong's men distract the officer and take Vasil with them. Yong tells Vasil, I want to fight you. If you win, I'll do whatever you say. Vasil replies, if I win, you will never fight again and you will stop harassing the other inmates. Yong accepts this deal and sets the fight for 5 days later. But Vasil demands the fight immediately. Angered, Yong starts kicking him. Vasil expects a kick to his hand, but Yong suddenly strikes his head and Vasil falls. Yong says, I'll wait for you in 5 days. The maintenance team captain Sung has left the cell. News of Vasil beating one has spread and Sung mocks him. He says, you're enjoying this, but maybe you don't know. Vasil wants to take your place. Hearing this, Sung becomes uneasy. He goes to the maintenance team to ask about Vasil. Vasil also arrives there. Sung directly asks, do you want to become our captain? Vasil calmly replies, no. Sung breathes a sigh of relief. A few days later, Baisak visits Vasil. Since defeating one, even the gangsters' guards have been talking about Vasil. Hearing this, Baisak is surprised. He says, I can't believe it. Maybe you really are preparing to fight me. I'll wait for that day. Don't forget who you are. Saying this, he leaves. Today is the day of the fight between Vasil and Yong. Yong's men and the other inmates are all waiting. Sung says, why don't we end these fights? What have fights given us except punishment and wounds? Then Vasil walks in. He asks Yong, after you lose, will you keep your promise? Yong replies, everyone is here. There's no turning back. If I lose, I will stop harassing inmates and stop fighting for no reason. Saying that, Yong attacks Vasil. His speed is very fast, and at first Vasil cannot match him. But slowly Vasil fights back. During the fight, Yong lands a heavy kick to his head and Vasil falls. Everyone thinks the fight is over, but Vasil gets up again. Yong tries to strangle him by pressing his neck between his legs, but Vasil strikes Yong's thigh, forcing him to let go. Seizing the moment, Vasil grabs Yong's neck and sits on his back. Yong tries to throw him off by slamming him into the wall, but Vasil won't let go. Both fall to the ground. Vasil says, you're losing. Now tell us, will you keep your promise or not? At first, Yong refuses, but as he starts to suffocate, he finally gives in. The guards come, and because of the fight, Vasil is put in a cell, but after some time he's let out. Sung takes Vasil to Won and Yong and says, until we get out of here, none of the 4 of us will fight. We must end this foolishness and make peace. He laughs and mocks him. If we don't agree, what will you do? Sung replies, if you don't agree, I will be forced to be strict with you, and you can see you cannot challenge our team. Vasil respectfully says, stop the fighting. We must change. As promised, Yong stops fighting. With no other option, he agrees. The 4 become good friends and start eating together. Yong teaches Vasil to kick like him. A few days later, Vasil's release day comes. He goes to the ground one last time and remembers when Jing advised him to use his shoulder to win fights. Leaving prison, Vasil is on his way home when Baisak appears. Vasil asks, I thought a lot but didn't understand. Why do you hate me so much? What did I do to you? Why do you keep bothering me? Baisak calmly says, I don't hate you, and there's nothing special in you that would make me hate you. Hearing that, both take off their jackets and start fighting. Baisak brutally beats Vasil until he's in very bad shape. But Vasil finds an opening and lands a powerful punch on Baisak's face. Baisak staggers. Vasil takes Baisak's jacket and throws it over his face and starts beating him severely. Vasil falls and blood pours from his face. Baisak says, did you really think you could beat me? One day your mother came to me begging for your life, but I chased her away. Hearing this, a fire ignites inside Vasil. He recalls Jing's lessons. Vasil rips the jacket off his face, bloodied but not defeated. Baisak again punches him in the face, and Vasil answers every blow. They attack each other relentlessly. Then Vasil throws the round punch Jing taught him, and Baisak collapses hard. Blood is flowing from Baisak's face too. In a rage, Baisak rushes at him again. But now he's so furious he can't control himself. Seizing the moment, Vasil kicks him like Yong taught, and Baisak falls. Baisak gets up and punches Vasil's face. Now Vasil has become so tough that after taking hits, he hardly feels pain. Baisak, scared, turns his face away. Vasil takes pity on him and leaves quietly. A few days later, Vasil goes to meet Jing in jail. Jing is happy to see him. Vasil smiles and says, I went to the aquarium to see sharks. You said sharks never rest. They keep swimming even while sleeping. but the sharks I saw were resting in one spot. Jing laughs and says, "You must have seen dead sharks." Hearing this, Vasil laughs loudly and Jing bursts out laughing too. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to Movie Maze for more movie recaps, and comment which movie you want next. See you in the next video.